Hi children, so we're going to look at problem 4 today together, and then you can do problem 1, 2, and 3 on your own. So I'm going to start with this first inequality. I'm trying to find the solution set to this system of inequalities, which means my answer should actually be a portion of the coordinate plane that is double shaded. In order to do that, I first have to graph both of these inequalities and see which portion of the coordinate plane is true for each one. And in order to do that, I need to solve both of these inequalities for y first. So if I start with the red equation, 5x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 4. If I'm solving for y, the first thing I want to do is get rid of that x term by doing its opposite. So since it's a positive 5x, I could get rid of it by subtracting 5x to each side. 5x minus 5x equals 0. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I'm left with 2y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 4. Now y is being multiplied by 2. I undo multiplication by 2 by dividing by 2. So if I divide this side by 2, I must divide the other side by 2 because of properties of equality. The 2's cancel out because they equal 1. That's exactly what I wanted to happen there. So I'm left with y is greater than or equal to negative 5 over 2x plus 2. So I'm almost done getting all that I need from this inequality. B is equal to 2, so my beginning point is 0, 2. And my slope m, the way my graph moves, is negative 5 over 2, which means I go down 5 spaces, go over 2 spaces. And the last piece of information I need to know is that this is a solid line. So I can use this information to graph this inequality, and then I'll decide which portion of the graph is true and which portion of the graph is not true for this inequality. So I'll begin at my beginning point, 0, 2, and I'll go up 5 spaces and over 2 spaces. And I can't go up anymore, so I'm going to go down 5 spaces, back 2 spaces. And it looks like I can go down 5 more spaces and back 2 more spaces. And I'm going to do my best to connect this with a solid line. You all know I'm working with my iPad. It's not the easiest to draw a solid line. And the last thing I want to do is I want to check to see if this is true on which side. So I'm going to check 0, 0, which means I'm plugging in 0 for x and y, and seeing if it makes my inequality true. So if I look up here, 5 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is still 0. Now my question to you is 0 greater than or equal to 4? No, it's not. This is false, which lets me know this side for my red inequality is false. So I would actually shade the other side because that is the true side. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the next inequality. Let's call this blue inequality. So I have x plus 4y is less than negative 28. I want to solve for y, so I need to first get rid of the x term by doing its opposite. What I do to one side, I do to the other to keep my inequality balanced. I get 4y is less than negative x minus 28. Y is being multiplied by 4. I undo multiplication of 4 by division of 4. And I'm left with y is less than negative 1/4 x, because if there's no number in front of that x, we know there's a 1 there, minus 7, because 28 divided by 4 is 7. So now I've got it into my final form. I just need to pull the information I need out of it. So my beginning point is going to be 0, negative 7. And my graph is going to move by going down 1 and over 4 spaces. And of course, if I come back up to my symbol, I know this is a dashed line. So I'm going to go ahead and take this information. I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to start at 0, negative 7. 0, negative 7, there's my point. And I'm going to go down 1 space over 4 spaces. and I'm going to go down one space over 4 more spaces. As you can see, I have no more spaces to go in that direction, so I'm actually going to use my slope to go backwards. So I'm going to go up 1 space and backwards 4 spaces. I'm going to go up 1 more space and backwards 4 spaces. And then I'm going to connect this with a dashed line as best as I can. Okay. Again, my final step is to determine which portion is true. Is this top portion of my graph true, or is this bottom portion true? I can do that by checking a point on either side. I'm going to choose to check 0, 0 again, just because it is easiest for me to check. So if I come back up to my inequality, well, if x is 0, then it's 0. And if y is 0, 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Is 0 less than negative 28? Okay, 0 is actually greater than any negative number, so this is false. 0 is not less than negative 28. 0 is greater than negative 28, which tells me that this side is false for the blue inequality as well as the red inequality. So I would not shade that side for my inequality. I'd actually shade the bottom portion right here. And of course, my solution is the part where both are being satisfied. So I want to look for the part where both red and blue are being satisfied, which is now this purple section that I've shaded here. So right down here would be my solution. And I'm done. Okay, hopefully that helps you finish problems 1, 2, and 3. I will see you on Monday.